come across the line. David Pearson moving down through as they come to the stripe.
Dale Earnhardt is going to win the Daytona 500 in his 20th try.
What a headline this is going to make. Dale Earnhardt Jr. comes back to the Daytona International Speedway, leading the pack, coming to the line. He will win the Pepsi 400. This is going to be close. They lean on one another. Across the line, Ricky Craven gets the win.
It's Truex on the inside, Hamlin on the outside, and too close to call.
Jimmy Johnson wins at Homestead and scores history-making 7th championship.
Catch the next great moment as NASCAR returns to the track in February from the LA Coliseum for the Busch Light Clash to kick off the 2023 season.
Green flag is in the air at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum.
Catch all the action on the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Team owners Maury Gallagher, Jimmy Johnson, and Richard Petty announced today that their organization will rebrand their name from Petty GMS Racing to Legacy Motor Club. The Legacy MC stable will field 2 full-time NASCAR Cup Series entries, with rookie Noah Gragson driving the number 42 Chevrolet, joining Eric Jones aboard the number 43. 7-time Cup Series champion Johnson will fill out the team, piloting the number 84 Chevy on a part-time basis, starting with the Daytona 500 on February 19th. Gallagher acquired Richard Petty Motorsports to form Petty GMS in 2022, with the team nabbing the first Petty win since 2014. I'm Susie Armstrong. This is NASCAR Today on the Motor Racing Network.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271D in Mariana, WVLQ Port St. Joe, powered by Pepsi, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Lights, camera, action.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Do you know who I am?
Live and local inside the J. Michaels studio.
People know me.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
No, hot tub's hot. Will it make me wet? Will it make me sweat? Hot tub. Did you ever see, Ethan, you know what, John? That was great, because every time I hear that, I was going to fight them if they changed anything. But when I heard that, I said, you know what, we're good. That reminds me back, Eddie Murphy, Saturday Night Live, did a sketch. Now, you probably weren't even born when they did it. But do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh, my. Tommy, you remember that one? Eddie Murphy on Saturday Night Live, they did James Brown's Celebrity Hot Tub.
Yeah, I remember.
When it came out, that was the funniest thing I'd ever seen. I mean, back then.
I'm going to have to watch it now as soon as I get out of there.
Oh my God. It was incredible. Especially me. I love James Brown. I watched everything about him. And when he did that, they made fun of him in that hot tub thing. It was crazy. Unbelievable. Good job, John. How you doing back there? You want to say hello? Can you say hi? No?
Good morning, everybody.
Don't screw everything up, though.
Okay. I'll try not to.
Can we hear you on air?
Yeah, you can hear me on air.
Right now?
Yeah.
Well, good morning.
Good morning. How are you, Chuck?
I'm doing good.
You got a big show lined up. And you also have to sing happy birthday because we were off the air.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you were singing happy birthday and poop.
The whole studio was singing to Lorelei her 5th birthday. Something happened. We went off the air for about 30 minutes. The lines were cut or something anyway. And so she didn't hear it. I was so upset. We all in here thought she heard it. We're singing, having a great time. We talked for about 20 minutes. Then he finally comes in and goes, oh, yeah, y'all been off the air. He goes, but that was really good what you said. Can y'all remember that? Do it again next year?
The music.
No, we don't know. All right, it's Thursday. Ethan Boyd was with us. Ethan has missed because you were taking care of a lot of business, boy. You were busy.
Yeah, a little bit.
So we got you back in twice this week to kind of make up for what because everybody's missed you. Can we get him back on? He looks good. He looks better than the rest of you old guys.
Everyone told me they needed a fresh perspective.
Yeah.
You know, they needed a Texas perspective on things.
Everything's bigger and better in Texas. That's what she says. Anyway, and this is great to have you back in here. And then Thursday's my favorite day. It really is. Now I tell everybody that. I tell Mitchell that on Monday also. But
right.
No, I really don't. Friday's group. They're rebels. It's hard to deal with that Big Ten. They are. I mean, you got Jim Brandt, Buckeye, Jason Kovaleski, Buckeye, and Ryan Mulvey. He's moving to Auburn. He married into the Auburn family, but he's pretty good and sensible. The rest of them, it's really hard to deal with. But Thursday, I got two of the greatest men ever to walk on this. I love this guy. This guy right here, Hall of Famer Tommy Santamite. Is he not one of the greatest guys you ever met?
Absolutely.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Don't put him on the spot.
No, we talk about you when you're not around.
Tommy's a good one.
He really is. Jeremy loves you too. I know that for a fact. And Jeremy, how's everything going with you?
I'm doing well. I know it's a couple minutes late getting in here, but Georgia just scored again. So.
Now listen, if there's any truth that Biden was coaching TCU. Now, I've heard he trained him, he coached him up that last week. I don't know.
He wouldn't have done that good.
I know. It'd have been 100-0. Good Lord.
No, doing well. Glad to be here.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Jeremy.
It was horrible this morning.
It was bad.
Was there a wreck?
I have no idea. There may have been something that
I went through about 16 traffic lights and 14 of them were red.
Oh, wait a minute. That's another shooting. No, I'm kidding. I was just kidding. Everybody look at it. Yeah, it's probably true. Man, there's been a lot of house breaking, a lot of shooting, a lot of crazy stuff going on.
Yeah, full moon. I don't know.
Great. But Jeremy, you've been a great preacher. You were in the biggest, nicest church in Montgomery. You come down here to Bay County, tearing it up. Tell everybody where you preach at.
We're at First United Methodist Church downtown. We had a great day yesterday. Had all of the mentors teaching in our local schools, helping out in our schools. Stopped by yesterday for a program, and then had Leadership Bay from the chamber came by they were doing their community needs day, and we were one of their stops as you look at all the sort of social services pieces of this. So great things happening downtown First United Methodist Church, Panama City. So.
Well, have you been to Rudy's Barbecue lately? Had some fine barbecue?
My daughter and I ate there last week. Sure did.
Did you see Ethan?
I did not see Ethan.
They never see me when I'm there.
I've never seen him there.
When I asked for him, all of a sudden he's gone. They call back there and you hear him whispering. He just had to go make a delivery. He's not here right now. Oh, okay. And you see his truck back there. I mean, like, what's going on, Ethan? He goes, I ain't feeding free anymore.
And ate there one other time with Frank Wright. Took him for the first time there. He really liked it. So our AV tech guy at the church.
Oh, good. Good. Yeah. Tommy, I know you love going out there.
Yeah, sure.
How you doing?
Good. My grandson Michael is 14 years old today. Can you make 14 years old?
You know who else's birthday is today? My brother is 73 today.
Is it?
Yeah, good people born on the day.
Yep.
My granddaughter's birthday was yesterday.
Yeah, saw all that.
Turned 5. Yeah. We had a great time last night at a little birthday party they had for her. She was dressed up like Cruella de Vil. She looked good. Had a wig on. She looked good, buddy. She was having fun. She had a good time. We were talking about Georgia just scored again. What is this going to turn into a Jimbo Fisher? I don't think it will, but I do think there's jealousy there between the two programs. Obviously, they are the new king of college football, and he is the greatest coach in the history of football is Saban, but the greatest football coach right now in college football, in my opinion, is Kirby Smart.
No doubt about it.
I mean, they run the world right now in Georgia. And you look at their schedule. I want to ask all of you, and we got this segment, next segment to get it done and talk about. We're going to pick the top 10 for next year. But before we get that, Jeremy, what did you think about? I thought about you when I saw this. Kirby on his list, the coaches poll, he had Georgia 6
or Alabama 6.
Tennessee 6. I mean Alabama 6. Yeah. Alabama 6 behind Tennessee. Two Eastern teams. What did you think about it? Is that a shot?
Oh, it absolutely was. Yeah, no doubt. There was no way he was going to create as much separation as he could. Yeah. Where Saban puts Alabama 2 on Georgia's heels.
And people were questioning that. But I'm going to be honest with you. The three best I'm going to tell you, in my opinion, the three best football teams in college football this year was Alabama, Georgia, and Ohio State. They're the most talented football. Not the best on the field, because how could you say about Alabama when they lost 2 games they should have lost? But talent-wise, those teams' rosters are unbelievable, better than anybody else. And I heard Georgia people calling in, and I'm a Georgia Bulldog fan also because of Kirby Smart. But they were calling in, we played our worst game, and I love them. They're good people. They know what they're talking about. But that's not correct. They didn't play their worst game. They played the best team they played all year. Because their roster at Ohio State is just as good as anybody else in the country.
No doubt about it.
Well, Georgia, until you beat them, as we said all year, they are the top. So
who's going to beat them next year? You look at this, who they
Nobody.
play. Nobody. The only team I think has a shot is Tennessee because at Tennessee, and I don't think they have a great shot.
Just trying to figure why Mowat wasn't available.
Well, Jinx going to play him. Jinx going to take somebody to play.
Tennessee and Florida is going to be their toughest games.
No doubt.
Yeah.
And Florida is rebuilding.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to tell you what.
Both schools have quarterback questions.
Yeah.
That's the fear.
He's gone, I guess. The quarterback's he's trying to get out of his.
He's going to draw Social Security next year. You talking about Georgia's quarterback?
No, I'm talking about the Florida quarterback. You know, the one they got from Miami.
He'll be out of jail by then, won't he?
Huh?
What did he do?
He's asking to get out of his.
Commitment.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's asking for release. That Rashada, whatever the name is.
Yeah, this was all breaking last night here.
Wait a minute now. I didn't even see that.
Yeah, we'll have to look it up.
This is a college sports talk, though, but we don't know. Do you know what they're talking about? I was at a party
They're
last
about to recruit, right?
Yeah, we're talking about the quarterback, the good quarterback they got.
That
from,
big recruit they
Miami.
got. Mm-hmm.
He went to Miami, but they didn't. I don't know why he didn't get nilled. And Miami is pretty pricey, but he ended up going to Florida. Now he's asking for a release from Florida.
Mm-hmm. He's already signed the contract, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But if they don't give him release, he can appeal it to the NCAA and.
Dang, man. Wonder what happened.
I don't know, but that's he's supposed to be a really good quarterback.
Who contacted him? Another team in the SEC?
No, he didn't really say where he wanted to go.
And we're getting the Auburn update. We got to talk about Auburn and what's going on with Bielema and Auburn. He got all upset. Hey, you freeze. I'm telling you guys, we get to Auburn. I'll hold off on this stuff to Auburn. If you're an Auburn fan, you ought to be feeling pretty good. Good morning.
Good morning.
Who is this?
My name is Travis. I listen to y'all every day. I just never called in.
Hey, Travis.
I was going to talk to you about what you were talking about on the Jaden Rashada, the Florida fan. I actually looked into it. His dad says he has not has not asked for his letter of intent back. I guess that's how that works. I'm not sure how it works.
Right.
It's not he hasn't. It's kind of rumored around right now, as far as that goes. My biggest thing on that, and I posted this on a Facebook post yesterday in a comment, is this guy's got to be paid something. In my eyes, I know NIL is a huge deal right now.
Right.
But in my eyes, I mean, he had tons of fans before he even gets on campus. I feel like, that would be a motivation enough for me to want to go to that school no matter what I'm getting paid.
Exactly.
I mean, that guy, he's like everybody was rooting for him, and he hadn't even stepped a foot on campus. He hadn't even got out of high school.
Right.
And all that. And but yeah, that I heard y'all talking about it. I had to call in.
So it's not for sure. It's just rumors.
It's not for sure. I mean, the rumors are true. There's something going on with NIL. That from what I have read, and I've looked it up and researched it, because that's really our only shot at anything good next year with the Graham Mertz transfer. I mean, come on, who are we kidding? That's not going to be a good quarterback. I mean, he could surprise me, but he didn't surprise Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And so I've done a lot of my research on it. And from what I see, I mean, his dad, like I said, his dad's gotten into it, and he has not requested to pull his letter of intent. But I've also heard that he's wanting more money, and
right.
I don't understand why, because from what I've heard, their NIL deal was supposed to be like $11 million.
They said the only thing for official is he did not enroll in classes yesterday.
On Monday, he didn't enroll.
So he is not at school. He cannot do spring practice since he did not enroll.
That's not a good sign.
Oh,
that's not.
Yeah,
good.
That isn't a good sign.
No.
See, I didn't know that you had to enroll by yesterday.
His father said it was. His father said he did. That's not true.
His father says it's not true. Okay.
Well, his dad never brought anything down. The only thing he took off the table was, as of right now, he is not pulled is not wanting to pull his letter of intent.
Right.
Yes. I think he's either pulling a major NFL move where he's like bluffing so he can get more money from somebody else, or something's going on with the Gator Collective, which Florida seems to be like they're kind of on a downhill on this NIL before it's even started.
It does seem that way. It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we talked about this. All of us in this room here talked about it. That player could go into, say they're going to go transfer. The whole team could go in. The whole first team offense, Alabama, say, hey, we're going to go transfer. What are you going to do? We're going to make as much money as the kids out of Southern Cal. I mean, they know they got the power now. That's what's so sad about this. But let's address this real quick. Jeremy, did you see this? The NCAA Council voted to limit eligibility for a second-time transfer.
That was breaking news late yesterday evening here. So
that's a great thing.
That is. That'll slow some of this down, and as much needed before it just got completely out of control.
Yeah, you cannot transfer now the second time for a position because they got another recruit in there in your position. You don't feel like you go given a fair shot or anything like that. It has to be. You can still transfer, but it's like you have a death in the family. Right. You live in one part of the country. You don't get close to your family.
Your sport was shut down. Very.
So you can't just transfer if you want to.
Right. This is great. They also got to get in there and change the calendar when they can signing period and deal also when they can transfer when they can't. They got to go change. Look at the bowl season. Nobody even played. How many? Texas A&M had 28 players not on the team at that time. They couldn't even practice if they had a bowl game. Mm-hmm. No. They could have the year before when they could have. They didn't. They choose not to. But anyway.
When does the second transfer rule go into effect?
Now, evidently now they've already voted on it to limit they have voted to limit the eligibility for a second-time transfer to stop this.
Effective next academic year.
It should be. It wouldn't be.
See, I think that there's been a lot of work that needs to be done to NIL. That's like it's more of like a work in progress, and I mean, I can't blame them for not seeing what was going to happen. You know, as far as all the kids transferring and all that kind of stuff. When they started the NIL deal, because I mean, when they started it, I was like, well, it's not really going to change much other than the players are going to get paid. But then I start to thinking, well, these talented guys at the smaller schools can go up to these big schools and get more money than some NFL players are making.
It's crazy.
And it's
let
crazy.
me ask you something. We got to take a break right now. You want to hold on? As a matter of fact, this is the first time you called, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, we're going to give you something. Rudy's here. Mr. Rudy's here. We're going to give you a Rudy's card. Okay, don't hang up. John's going to tell you what you need to do to get yourself a Rudy's card, but we got to take a break. You're welcome to hold on and talk a little bit more if you want to, or if you got to go, we understand, but I got to get this break in, okay?
All right, sounds good.
All right, don't hang up now. Have you been to Rudy's barbecue on Bat Beach Road yet?
I have. I love it. It is so
there
good.
You go. There you go.
Me and my wife went there for the first time a few months ago, and it was just, we loved it.
Well, when John gives you the information, just let him know what day and time you're going to be there. You and I are going to have a great free lunch.
Sounds good.
All right, don't hang up. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. We got so many great sponsors. Appreciate all of them. Chuck Tucker, Tommy, his daddy was nothing but a winner at Mose. You bragged on him all the time. What a great principal he was.
Yep.
His son, he raised a wonderful son.
Yep.
Just a truly great American.
Mr. Hugh Tucker.
Yep.
Mosley High School.
Now, I think Chuck is even gone over what his daddy's accomplished. I mean, if that's possible.
He must be a good one then.
He's a great one. You know why? He runs South Oak Title and Closing. All your real estate needs, there's only one place you need to go. Matter of fact, you better demand it. You're going to closing, it's your money. You make sure you demand South Oak Title and Closing. We're going to use Chuck Tucker, no doubt about that. Yesterday, it was packed out at J. Michael's restaurant. Saw Stephen Counts there. Mr. Counts is looking good. I didn't get a chance to ask him about FSU, but I know he's proud of them. Get out to J. Michael's, have a great time. Yesterday was the world famous J. Michael's spaghetti. Go try. I tell you, Friday's a good day. Also, that Chris fish is really good. Every day's a good day, J. Michael's. You've been down. You've had that fried shrimp.
Friday's my favorite.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you what. Their shrimp. I'm going everywhere. I love fried shrimp. The best you'll get anywhere is J. Michael's restaurant. Also, Tommy, I'm gonna let you do this. Buffalo Rock. Are they not wonderful?
Oh yeah, Buffalo Rock has always been very supportive of athletics and the whole community of Bay County and surrounding counties. As I always say, they didn't know how to ever say no to us. It was always yes, and whatever we needed, they'd help us out. So they're a great company.
Great company. We'll be right back. You listen to the legendary Jeremy Pritchett Show, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, only on Thursdays. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The Afternoon Underdogs.
Hey, it's Miles Nashke Lashley, and coming up on the next Afternoon Underdogs, we'll have your chance to win with Traffic Jam and Trivia at 5. Plus the High School Spotlight at 5:40. It moves fast. And your calls at 850-215-6290. The Afternoon Underdogs are live and local.
4 to 6 weekdays. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good Thursday morning. A weather system coming in for today and tonight. Cloud showers and maybe a thunderstorm. It'll be sunny at times today. The high around 75. Gusty winds. About 48 tonight with those showers and thunderstorms roaming around. Morning showers, afternoon sun Friday around 58. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. For ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Hi folks, it's Tracy with Tracy's Fine Jewelry and Coin and Bullion Reserves. Did you know that we do more than just sell some of the finest jewelry in town? We can engrave on your wedding band, locket, Yeti cup, or almost anything. Need your watch battery changed? We can do that too. Our expert will even evaluate your coin collection. And of course, we always pay top dollar for your old gold and silver jewelry. See, there's a lot more to Tracy's Fine Jewelry than a lot of pretty sparkly things. Come and see us today at Tracy's Fine Jewelry.
Golf Plus is your premier golf shop on the Gulf Coast. Not a big box or a chain store, but a local store with golf experts to serve you. An amazing array of demo and fitting products, plus a professional repair shop that can handle anything from a basic re-grip to a full set of re-shafts and everything in between. Golf Plus has locations in Dothan and Panama City Beach to serve you. Come see them today for all your golf needs. Located next to Firefly at the shops at Edgewater. Call 850-249-2726.
We don't know what his problem is.
Quit moaning, we're all hurting.
But it's probably hard to pronounce and untreatable.
That don't feel so good.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local from the J. Michael Studio. ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Ethan Boyd, Tommy Sandman, Jeremy Pritchett with us this morning. And we got Travis on the phone. Travis and I are now new buddies. We're going to have a great lunch together. Spend some time. I'm just kidding with you, Travis. You ought to take your wife or whoever you want. Travis, Ethan just read. What did you say, Ethan? What was the deal you said?
Well, Travis said it too, but it's just that it looks like it really is because the Florida Collective, like I guess they messed something up, or Rashad is wanting more from him, and so.
Well, could he have been told you're going to get this by a recruiter or something? And
yeah, I mean, 100%.
Or a booster, and then all of a sudden it doesn't happen. Because you hear a lot of that. You hear a lot of that. They would promise this, and then it doesn't happen. Travis, did you promise too much money?
Wait, what'd you say?
I said, did you promise him too much money?
Oh shoot, I would have if I could have. But I mean, we got next year with that 5-star coming in with Lagway. I mean, anything that'll change what happened last year will be just fine with me.
Yeah, we were talking about this yesterday. You look what Georgia's doing, and you look at Florida. There's Florida's schedule. They got to open up with Utah on the road. Utah's going to be good. Yeah. They got a lot of guys coming back. They won the Pac-12. They're going to want to get revenge. And you look at the rest of their schedule, Florida's rest of their schedule. Who's the crossover? They got LSU every year. Mm-hmm. LSU's going to be really good. They got Florida State at the end of the year. They're going to be really good.
Arkansas, I think, is the one coming over.
Arkansas is coming. Arkansas is a physical football team. And you look at Georgia's schedule, Florida's schedule is a lot tougher. A lot tougher than Georgia's.
Oh, yeah. And believe it or not, funny thing is I went to my first ever college football game last year, and it happened to be the Florida State game in Doak Campbell.
Wow.
Picked a good one.
I mean, yeah, except for I had to walk out of there with all those Florida State fans that ain't won in 3 years. And,
did Tommy Sandman throw something at you?
I had people chopping in my face and everything else, but my wife's a Florida State fan, so I guess that kind of saved me a little bit because she was sitting there holding my hand with a Florida State shirt on. I had my Gator jersey on, so I guess that saved a little bit of the beating.
Wow.
You're pretty brave if you wore a Gator shirt over there on that game.
Oh, shoot. I actually had just got that Gator jersey that day. I didn't, I don't care for wearing jerseys very much. They're hot and they're not comfortable to me. But I knew I was going to that game last minute. I was like, should I spend the money? Oh, yeah, I should. And
nothing better than a rivalry game.
Tell you what,
Yeah,
Florida State's going to be really good next year, man. I'm kind of worried about Jeremy. I'm kind of worried about Florida a little bit.
It's a tough sled for Florida. It's harder draw.
especially if we don't get Rashada.
Yeah.
FSU, LSU, Arkansas, Georgia. I mean, those tough ball games.
Tennessee. Yeah, it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
And the thing about it, though, they do. One thing I will say, they got that brand new standalone facility. You go in there and look at that. That's impressive. But they got to get going on this NIL, and we don't know. We don't know what's really going on there. They might wind up being fine. That's the thing about it. You never know. You just don't know. Well, Travis, listen. I think we got somebody else calling. And we got another caller, so we're gonna let you go. Hey buddy, go have yourself a good meal.
Hey, Travis, one tip when you go on the road with your team. Just wear white, sneak in, sneak out.
Yeah. Don't make too much noise.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's the next time I do it.
Okay.
It was great talking to y'all. Thank y'all for taking my call.
Hey buddy, thank you for calling. We appreciate you so much for listening. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Where did he hang up? The other one hang up? Okay, if you called and hung up, you can call back if you'd like. We appreciate you calling. All right, where were we? I'm seriously, Florida, man, it's not a good time to be going in the wrong direction.
Be a little nervous right now. I mean, we didn't even mention the big non-conference opener. They got to go to Utah.
Yeah, on the road. Now, I think they got Tennessee at home this year.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, though, it ain't getting any easier. The same thing with Auburn. Auburn's the same boat like Florida. You got Alabama, Georgia. Your two rivals. LSU is going to be really good. As a matter of fact, let's get into this right now. Let's do our preseason top 10. I'll start. I already thought about it. I got my top 5, and then here's my top 3. I got Georgia. Georgia going to win it all. They're going to be the first team in college football history to win 3 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
The toughest game is going to be it's going to be the SEC championship game.
Exactly
if they get by Tennessee on the road. South Carolina's quarterback's coming back, but they'll handle them. Their roster is unbelievable. The way he's recruited there is incredible. Their toughest games are going to be the SEC championship. First round, the playoffs will be pretty easy because they'll have number 4.
Mm-hmm.
In the national, they'll have 2 teams they really got to I'm kind of exaggerating.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
I mean, they should be very fresh. I mean, injuries.
Healthy. Yeah.
Injuries are the only thing you can't predict, but otherwise, that schedule is not going to be taxing.
And that's what I always talk about, the schedule and being healthy.
With that schedule, they're going to be able to get their second, third stringers in there, and they're going to
a
build
lot
them
of
up.
reps.
They did that this year. A lot of people played.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to tell you what, when their backups win the game, the national championship game, oh, my God, they look good. I got number 2, and I'm going to stick with the roster and my love, Alabama. I think they'll finish strong this year. Even though they lost a lot of players and they're still leaving the program right now, I still think they're going to get back and be pretty good. Their schedule's a lot difficult than Georgia's. They will not go undefeated. I'm not sure they're going to win the West, but I'm going to still put them 2 right now. Number 3, I got the Buckeyes. Same reason. Roster's loaded. Everybody's talking about they lost their quarterback. They're going to be fine. I'm telling you right now. The way they recruit, they're going to be good. Number 4, I went and looked at the schedule. I thought it was going to be an easier path, so I picked Southern Cal to be number 4. Right now, I don't know the rest of them for number 5. I got it kind of like a tie. I don't know who to pick. LSU, Tennessee, Florida State, or Michigan. I don't know what to do there. My other ones I have are Washington and Penn State in the top 10. Yep. Tommy, give me your top 10.
I've got Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, LSU, FSU, Washington, USC, and Tennessee.
That's pretty good.
All of them about the same.
Yeah, that's the same 10 I have. Who you got?
Yeah, it's probably. I mean, mine's probably really similar. So I would probably do Georgia 1, Ohio State 2. I mean, I think I'd probably go. I mean, I think 3. I like Florida State. Florida State 3. Okay. USC 4. Alabama 5.
Okay.
Michigan 6.
Okay.
Actually, I'd probably do Michigan 6. Penn State 7. And then LSU probably 8.
Yeah.
And then, probably
Washington.
Oregon, Washington, Tennessee, one of those,
Right.
9, 10, 11, something like that.
It's basically the same one.
Yeah.
Oregon, I didn't have, you didn't have, but you do. Okay, Jeremy?
Got LSU coming in 10. I would take Oregon coming in 9. In the 8th slot, Tennessee. In the 7th slot, Michigan. In the 6th slot, probably Florida State. I'm a little higher on the Seminoles than most there. In the 5 slot, I think you're going to be able to put USC. In the 4th slot, Michigan, 3 OSU, 2 Alabama, 1 Georgia.
Okay, so 4 and 5, ours is different. Everything else about the same.
Yeah.
Michigan A's. Michigan, we're not taking text. You have to call. We got one. We only got a minute left. All right, guys, y'all hold your thoughts. We'll be right back. We get back. We're gonna have Tommy Sonneman to talk about Florida State. They are getting a lot of love. This they've done it before when they've had one of the biggest hype games ever when Alabama and Florida State opened up in Atlanta. They were both ranked in the top 4, I believe. And this one I think is going to be hyped up the same way, LSU, Florida State, because both of them are going to get a lot of love. And they screwed up when their quarterback. Well, the quarterback went down in Atlanta, and that changed the whole football game. But Alabama did beat them. What's going to happen this year? But Tommy's going to talk to us about Florida State when we get back. Right now, let's talk about some of our great people. El Rodeo, the Tequila Bar and Grill. You want to have a great time. NFL playoffs this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. $5 pitchers. You buy one small draft beer, the next one's free. Margarita, house wine, all the same thing. They have lunch specials all day long. Happy hour 3 to 7, Monday through Friday. You have to have a great. My next door neighbor Doug loves that place. It really is a good place to go have a good time. David does a great job down there. El Rodeo, Tequila Bar and Grill, right across the street from the Navy base. Go try it. We think you'll love it. Any type of injury, I don't care what it is. Any type of injury, do what we've done here in Bay County for 23 years. We send our athletes to the legendary Dr. Chad Mitchell. If you get hurt, call and make an appointment. Go see Chad. He does an incredible job. And you can listen to him every Monday morning right here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Ethan, if you love golf, where are you going to go?
Bay Point.
And if you can have a big tournament you want it catered, who are you going to use?
Rudy's Barbecue.
Rudy's Barbecue on Bad Beach Road. Rudy Tootie, says Lord Hale. I tell you what, Bay Point has done such a great job. Bay Point Golf's incredible. Ryan Moby does a great job. He'll be in with us tomorrow. And so is Rudy's Barbecue. Tell us what's going on down at Rudy's.
Yeah, just breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Come by and get a taco or go in and get some turkey or some brisket.
You need to get a picture of me and Jeremy eating some turkey.
I already got a picture of you up there, Coach.
But we need more. We need more. Now, you can never have enough of that. That NIL deal I have is going through the roof right now. Anyway. All right, we'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We get back, Tommy Santamont, FSU.
We're home for the NFL. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Absolutely the most touchdowns on the Gulf Coast. We're taking you from the playoffs all the way to Super Bowl 57. This Saturday, it's an NFL playoff doubleheader. First, Seahawks at 49ers. Coverage starts at 3, then Chargers at the Jaguars. Kickoff at 7:15. The NFL on ESPN Northwest Florida is sponsored by Dave & Buster's and Instant Replay Sports Cards.
The Hot Light is on Krispy Kreme's Original Glazed Donuts. They make their original glazed donuts the way they always have, because it's the right way, the fun way, and they love doing it that way for you, their customer. Think inside the box this new year at Krispy Kreme Donuts, with 2 locations next to Gulf Coast Hospital on 23rd Street in Panama City and the Ross Clark Circle in Dothan. Krispy Kreme Donuts, where you get them hot.
By now, you've heard us talking about Tiger TV Pro. Hi, David Hayes from the Afternoon Underdogs, here to remind you about this incredible streaming service with over 6,000 premium channels. And the cost, you ask? $15 a month. Yes, only $15 a month. Every sports channel is available, including the ACC and SEC network, the NFL, NBA, MLB, HBO, Showtime, and thousands more. For more info, go to our website at espnpc.com. Scroll down and click the Tiger logo.
Did you know that fees associated with real estate closings are virtually the same from one title company to the next? So what sets South Oak Title apart? Effective communication, customer service, expertise, and technology. If you're buying or selling real estate, refinancing a residential or commercial property, tell your realtor you want to close with South Oak Title. South Oak Title, with locations across the Southeast, including Panama City Beach, Inlet Beach, Destin, and Fort Walton Beach. Visit them online at southoaktitle.com.
I don't always talk to Alabama fans, but when I do, I ask for large fries. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Florida State. Woo! I like John. That was a great fight song. That's the new one. That's good. That's FSU's new fight song. I like that. Good job. I think John Sharp liked that song. You love FSU. You gotta love newbies. Get out to newbies, have a great time. John Sharp do a wonderful job. Do a lot of great things for our community. Get out to newbies. 3 great locations. Newbie 2 on the Curve. Go watch all the NFL playoff games. Go there and tell them Coach sent you. And of course, the mothership, the best bands in the Southeast. Charlotte made sure nothing but the best plays there. Love her. Beautiful lady. Inside and out, and I love John too. All right, Tommy, what do you got for us today on the mighty FSU?
I've got kind of a hodgepodge of different things. First of all, to Sean Ward, he went in the transport portal. He's going to end up at Kansas State. So that'll be a good move for him. FSU lost another transport portal guy, Malik McClain, the 6'4" wide receiver. He's in the portal, but they gained another kid from South Carolina. I tell you what, they're getting a lot of people from South Carolina. Gilbert Edmond, he's 6'5", 250, defensive end. He's actually from Fort Pierce, Florida. He's got 2 years of eligibility left, so he is signed with FSU now. And the biggest news going on now is the hiring of Marcus Woodson, their defensive back coach, has left for Arkansas. And they have hired Southern Miss Patrick Surtain.
So you know FSU can get better now.
Hey, this guy here, a lot of the recruits are saying that's a big deal, a big plus for FSU getting him. And he was head coach at American Heritage down there. Mm-hmm. And the only thing he did down there, he was 65-10 when he was at American Heritage. Won 3 state championships in 6 seasons, and he is going to be the big recruiter for Miami-Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach County. So that's going to be a big plus. Defensive back, he's in the NFL. He was all everything. And his son, Patrick II, played at Alabama, All-American defensive back. He was, I think, taken as a number 9 in the NFL draft.
He was a stud.
And he played for his dad down there at American Heritage. Yeah. So that's a big plus for FSU as far as recruiting and coaching. So they're going to get I think they're going to get some quality DBs down there now.
We couldn't understand why he would not go to Southern Mississippi like his dad, all the facilities we have and the money, the tradition. He spent a little school like Alabama. Unbelievable.
You didn't go recruit him?
That's the problem we did. It didn't work. It didn't work.
He would have had the chance to play at Alabama, at Auburn.
Thank you, Jeremy.
FSU basketball is not doing real good. They played Wake Forest last night at Wake Forest and got beaten 90-73. The problem with them, they lost 3 of their starters due to injuries, and Baba Miller is a kid from Spain. This is his first game he played in last night, a 6'11" kid. He only scored 4 points, got 4 rebounds, but they look for him. He's a freshman. He's going to be a really good player for FSU as the season goes on. I saw last night on ACC Network, Legend of Charlie Ward. That was really, really some of the film on him as a football player. He's a heck of a football player. That sucker could pass now. I mean, his last year, he turned into a great passer. I mean, and of course, if he no one over, he'd just take off and run. But he never got drafted in football. Right. He said if he wasn't drafted in the first round, he wasn't. Of course, he only played 12 years in the NBA. He played basketball, so he was a great basketball player too. And so he, it was a really good deal on Charlie Ward. A lot of the old players there talked about him and all that. So.
Tommy, do they show that multiple times, or is that like a
they,
one
they
deal?
will. I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
ACC doesn't have a whole lot to show, but
I got that. I get that ACC network.
Yeah.
Next time it's on,
81,
let me know. Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing, FSU's opened a website for Jordan Travis. For the Heisman, they started doing that. And another thing, baseball. Link Jarrett. This is something I didn't know on baseball. They open up February the 17th at 5:00 at Dick Hauser. They're playing James Madison. The fall semester. Listen to this. This is pretty impressive. They had the best academic team GPA ever in the history of their baseball team. The fall semester GPA was a 3.11. They had 19 players with 3.20 or higher. 7 players with 3.50 or higher.
Jeez.
So that's pretty impressive.
Tommy,
of course, Link Jarrett comes from Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Would you look at your notes real quick? When is that game? That first baseball game?
February the 14th.
So it's getting close.
Yep.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I like college baseball.
February 17th, 5:00 at Dick Hauser. They're playing James Madison.
We got another month away.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not long. Last thing, basketball again. Leonard Hamilton has when they beat Georgia Tech the other day, that was his 600 career wins, 400 at FSU. He's been at FSU for 20. This is his 21st year. He's Leonard's 74 years old, so I don't know how much longer he's going to last. But something that's impressive to me, out of those 20 years, he's only had 2 players that did not graduate at FSU. That's pretty daggum good.
That's amazing.
Basketball, yeah. 2 players out of 20 years that did not graduate.
He is a really good coach.
He is.
I tell you what.
How old is he?
74.
I didn't realize.
And and his biggest problem was that he, Coach K, Roy Williams, he was stacked against these legendary coaches his entire career, but he's been able to be so successful against them. I mean, he's a great
coaching
coach.
in the ACC with all those great teams.
He's not a real. I was thinking Leonard. I didn't see him. I thought he was real tall. He's not tall at all. I don't know how his height is, but he didn't look tall when I was at the game the other night when I saw him. But
did you go with your family member?
My nephew.
Were y'all down on the court side?
Yeah, we're sitting right on. I was sitting like this far from the thing.
Yeah, Louis Johnson's, Lorraine Johnson, Ben Johnson. They got courtside seats also. They're right there with the team.
The only problem with courtside seats, you better be alert because you get hit in the head with a basketball, or a player can run over you.
But that's got to be cool being right down there, hearing all that noise.
I was right under the goal. I mean, I was there lined up with a goal, and it was. I mean, you get a good perspective on how big the players are and how good they are because you're right there with them. I mean,
did you see Ben and Lorraine when you were there? Johnson?
No, I didn't. I don't know them.
Okay.
A friend of mine, Ronnie Youngblood from Tallahassee, was a county athletic director when I was working, and his granddaughter was one of those Golden Girls, and she was sitting like right down by me.
Yeah.
So, but that was.
Now so to get those tickets, you're putting pretty good money into the program.
Yeah. Well, he gets them. He got them probably from I don't know if he got them from athletic director or somebody gave them to him.
Do they get like a hospitality room for those donors like that?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Same thing at A&M.
Yeah.
Oh, it's kind of because usually in football you got the stadium, you got the clubhouse, you got the skyboxes, whatever you call them. Basketball, the big deal is being close to the kids, and I guess they have all kind of things for the boosters before the game.
Yeah, they'll have like special meals, and usually there's a special almost like concession area you can go to at halftime that you go into. It's your hangout lounge. You don't have
that's pretty nice.
You're not gonna mingle with the rest of us.
I told you Mike Alford had Trey. We call him Trey McCarley. That's Louise's nephew. But Mike invited Trey and his son to go fly with him to New Orleans when they played LSU. They was with him up in his box wherever he was. So I mean they're pretty good. They're real good friends.
Yeah. That I tell you what. We went to the Saints game Sunday, and it was good. It was fun. It was loud. Good fans, wonderful people, no doubt about that. But there's something different about college football. That FSU-LSU game, when LSU came on the field and they did that Tigers or whatever they do, that was so loud. And then FSU, the war chant. It's just college football is the greatest thing in the world. To me, it's the greatest sport there is.
You're right.
You've been to a pro game, haven't you?
Oh, yeah.
Don't you think it's totally different?
It's just very mechanical.
Yeah.
It's all business.
Yeah, but then the fans can be really hard on you, on the players. And
college football is sort of the Bergs and the Villes, the small towns. Your Athens, your Starkvilles, those places. Your pro football, maybe with the exception of Green Bay, the folks who have been to Green Bay tell me it's a little more like a college atmosphere. You're dealing with the major metro areas. Different game. Different.
They say the Steelers fans are really good too. So, this LSU FSU football game, that's going to be exciting. That's going to be
September
cool.
3rd. I think that's when
It's the only. I think it's a Sunday night. It's the only game played.
By far the biggest week 1 game.
Oh yeah. One of the biggest in college football this year. I'm thinking about who else is 2 big conferences playing each other this year. Texas, Alabama. The next week.
Yeah.
Well, no, week 2.
Right, week 2.
Yeah. Florida State's home schedule is pretty good this year, as far as.
the home schedule
last year was pretty
last
good.
Year,
Where's Clemson game?
It's going to be at Clemson.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
What do you think about the new ACC model for scheduling going forward? You and I haven't really talked about that with permanent opponents and the rotation. And I mean, Florida State drew Syracuse and Clemson and Miami, and they're kind of pod. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
When does that go into effect?
Man.
I think
not next year.
Not next
24.
year. I think it's the following year. They scrapped the divisions in the ACC.
I think that's when the SEC is going to change up too.
Yeah, there we go.
Tommy, that's tough, man. Because I'm going to tell you what, that guy at Syracuse can coach. He does a great job, I think.
That's just a long road trip every year.
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
That's hard too.
That's a tough.
The Carrier Dome.
Yeah.
When is Miami going to get back? They've got. I mean, they're
No,
signing
it
good
starts
players.
next year.
For a while.
New scheduling model.
It does start next
the
year.
3-5-5, where you'll play 3 permanent, and then the 5-5, you'll pick up 5 of them 1 year, 5 the next year, and rotate.
And they're still going to have the
SEC.
ACC championship game, correct?
Just the top 2.
Yeah.
The top 2 records
go in.
will play each other. Kind of like the Big 12 did.
See, I think the championship games are the ones that need to go away. Take the regular season
If
winner.
we go to
crown
12
them.
teams, I'm
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah.
Well, I hate you. We care about the safety of the kids. You're making them play more games for more money. That's all
That's
they're
all
doing.
it is.
And so I'm glad the kids are getting. I used to be against it. Now I hope they get everything they can. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. Blue Sky Express Car Wash on Bat Beach Road. You want that vehicle to look brand new? Try it one time. You'll go there every time. They do an incredible job. I do want to thank Newbies again for the Florida State update. John and Charlotte do such a wonderful job. And they give back to the community a lot of times. I remember we did some things for them. They helped the fire department. They've helped the Humane Society. They're just wonderful people. They truly are. Get out to Newbies. Have a great time. Max Fit Sports Nutrition. You want to look better, feel better? Go see Jason Kovaleski at Max Fit. I guarantee you, man, you want your son or daughter, they're in sports here in high school level, junior high, whatever, and you want to just have a little edge, go visit, spend some time with him. He's incredible. I guarantee you, he can talk about your what you should be eating, everything about it he knows. He's incredible. Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Paparazzi Gourmet Deli. Ethan, you love that pizza down there?
I love it.
It's really good. Tommy, you and Louise, Julie, we've been there several times. It's really good. Now, they got a lunch special. You go in there, you buy 2 slices of pizza, and honestly, that's like a whole pizza at most places.
Yeah.
2 slices of pizza and a drink. You get a bag of chips if you want to. I never get that, but it's really good. The bakery is incredible. Don't even go look at it if you're trying to lose weight because it's incredible. Paradise Cake, try it. That's what you'll get. There's the best 2 of the Paradise Cakes, in my opinion, and the Napoleon. Really, really good. All right, we'll be right back. Tommy Santamont, Jeremy Pridgeon, Ethan Boyd, Rudy's Barbecue. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest
You're home for the NFL. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Absolutely the most touchdowns on the Gulf Coast. We're taking you from the playoffs all the way to Super Bowl 57. This Saturday, it's an NFL playoff doubleheader. First, Seahawks at 49ers. Coverage starts at 3, then Chargers at the Jaguars. Kickoff at 7:15. The NFL on ESPN Northwest Florida is sponsored by Dave & Buster's and Instant Replay Sports Cards.
Good Thursday morning. A weather system coming in for today and tonight. Cloud showers and maybe a thunderstorm. It'll be sunny at times today. The high around 75. Gusty winds. About 48 tonight with those showers and thunderstorms roaming around. Morning showers, afternoon sun Friday around 58. This weather forecast has been brought to you by KHS and Associates, your source for affordable health insurance. For ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Since 1955, Buddy Gandy's Seafood Market has been providing their customers with the freshest seafood in Panama City. Check out their huge variety of fish, shrimp, oysters, crab legs, live blue crab, steam bar, and more. They'll even clean your catch for you. Buddy Gandy's Seafood Market has everything you need for your holiday seafood feast, plus gift cards for those special people in your life. They're open 7 days a week near the intersection of Beck Avenue and Highway 98. Mention ESPN for a 10% discount. For more info, visit Buddy Gandy's Seafood Market on Facebook. Happy holidays!
Tired of being overcharged each month for health insurance or finding out you still have significant out-of-pocket costs from copays or deductibles when you do go see the doctor? Hi, I'm Kevin Shady with KHS & Associates. Our independent insurance agency has helped individuals, families, and even small business employees lower their health care insurance costs with no copays, no 80/20 coinsurance, and no deductibles unless you're hospitalized overnight. Call or text us at 502-386-1128. That's 502-386-1128.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show.
I'm not prepared. I really am not prepared at all. I hope you won't judge me on one email I sent 10 years ago.
My apartment smells of rich mahogany.
Live from the J. Michael Studio.
Not after spicy or food demo!
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest. But we got all the answers. You know what? If we could do a show between breaks, it would break all records. It's so many highly intelligent people.
That's what you call synergy. You know,
yeah.
that internet.
Ethan, I want to talk to you about, I know you love Texas A&M, and we all dislike Jimbo Fisher. But no, that's not true. That's
Thanks,
not
Coach.
true as far as you know.
Thanks.
What's going on? I know they lost a 5-star to Southern Cal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you guys, watch out. That's the reason I had Southern Cal number 4 in mind, because I think their path to get in is easy.
Yep.
And they're going to continue to buy players. They got as much money as anybody.
Yeah, I mean, they get Anthony Lucas, defense been considered. He'll probably play mostly like a defensive tackle, though, in the USC defense. He didn't really play a lot, but he was a big 5-star, or actually a 4-star recruit, but one of our top recruits last year. Didn't see much playing time, but again, he's leaving. He's from Arizona, so it kind of makes sense he'd head west to USC. But Lincoln Riley picked him up, so make that the transfer portal number 28 for us. You know what I mean?
28.
So,
Wow. Can I add something?
Yeah.
I got this right here.
Yeah.
Somebody texted and reminded me of this. Speaking of USC, their legendary running back Charles White passed away.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was only 64.
Yeah. Yep.
I remember him running all over Alabama when Alabama was ranked number 1 in Birmingham. And Alabama still went on to win the national championship the year, but Southern Cal beat him early in the season, and Bama responded. But he was a truly great running back. He was a great football player. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. So I mean, that's obviously on the negative side. Positive, we have the number 1 wide receiver for 2024. He's coming into campus in through 2 weeks, so the week of the 19th, weekend of the 19th. So, it's early. We'll see. He's going to make a visit. I mean, he probably has 10 other visits playing for this winter. So we'll kind of see where that goes. The good news was obviously campus or school started yesterday, so we have 10 recruits, 10 early enrollees that are all officially
high school
students.
or transfers?
Some of both.
Okay.
Mostly all high school, but there's a few that are transfers as well. So, but 10 of them technically started class yesterday, so they're in the program. So they'll be starting that stuff, winter workout, stuff like that. Basketball's 2-0 in the SEC. Had to throw that in there just because we're not very good this year.
What is your realistic expectation for the football win-loss wise next year? What do you feel like?
I mean, I would love to see 9-4, but I bet 8-5 is more realistic.
Okay.
Who's their crossover game this year coming up?
Tennessee
At Knoxville.
Ooh,
Yeah.
at Knoxville?
Yep. I gotta go to that game.
You do.
I have to go.
You've been to that stadium.
Yeah.
I have never
Every
been.
seat's on the 50-yard line. They give plenty of room. Just ask the scalpers.
Oh boy,
you get in. Yeah. But that is a crazy place. They do a good. But y'all's place is as good as
But I mean, you got to go. I mean, it's one of those things. It's an away game at legendary SEC school. I got to go.
Isn't it amazing? I asked him to go to Tuscaloosa with me. I really don't want to go. But Tennessee does. Is that not a slap in the face to Alabama?
Oh.
Did you try to take him to Dreamland or something?
Maybe, yeah. I didn't bring that up. I didn't even bring that up. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You didn't get to go to the Auburn game, did you?
No.
You got to go.
I know. I got to go.
Yeah, got to go.
Well, I think you're hitting on something about college football. The pageantry of being in these settings when you go to the game is so much different than when you watch on television. And I think that's part of why the Alabama fan base got a little tired of these neutral site openers. You want to go play on somebody else's grass, see somebody else's campus, their stadium, their traditions, and exactly right. You go to Auburn, go to Tennessee, go to Alabama. It's a whole different experience than when we just pull it up and watch it on TV.
All right, let's talk about scheduling. SEC. I just got to say, I'm sorry. Maybe Jared, maybe. I think he wants me to bring you with him. He's trying to do. Jerry, I think he's trying to do a deal with y'all. So I don't know. What are we talking? Oh, scheduling.
Yeah,
we're talking about
SEC.
ACC.
Yeah,
we're
with
talking
the
about
pods,
FSU. Schedule, these pods. I've heard now, and just through the grapevine, that was going to be the deal with the SEC, and then there's a little bit of pushback. Because going to 12 games, I think they're going to be okay. But like now, keeping it at 4, they would definitely not want to do that. They want to put Texas on one side and Oklahoma on the other, and keep everything the same, and only play 8 conference games. Keep the championship game. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen because I think the money people, the TV people, are going to want them to do a podcast because you're going to see bigger and better games, but you're going to lose games. Georgia will not have an easy schedule if we go to pods.
No.
It's going to change everything.
Would this be for the 24 season?
I think next year's everything going to be the same.
Yeah, right. It'd be the 24.
It'd be the 24. Yeah, because Georgia and not Georgia, but Texas and Oklahoma are going to be there at 24.
Technically, it's still 25 for them.
Yeah, but
they haven't announced
technically, but I think it's going to be 24.
Yeah, it makes sense with the way everything else is changing in college football in 2024. It would make sense that Texas OU would move over at the same time. You go to 12-team college football playoff. SEC changes their model, scheduling model.
Right.
It makes sense all that happened in 2024.
You love A&M. Okay. We all love the SEC. There's no doubt about that. I don't want them to do anything that's going to hurt our chances of continuing to win national championships. And you get mad at me or what? Bowden knew the power of scheduling. Bear Bryant knew it. Joe Paterno, they all knew that. Okay, Kirby Smart knows that right now. Look at their schedule. Schedule's half of the battle, and then the other half is staying healthy, recruiting and developing players has a lot to do with it also. But look at this: who got in this year? TCU. Okay, TCU got in the playoffs. They got beat by 58 points. Alabama went through 5 years and lost 7 games by a total of 58 points. Scheduling and conferences do matter. All conferences are not the same. The SEC is the best conference in college football, and we're hated for it. But we are the best conference in college football. More people are drafted from the NFL, go to the NFL from the SEC than any other conference. Big Ten, I believe, is second. ACC, I think, is third. So if you're out in the Pac-12 and you're Southern Cal and you're buying all these players up, well, look at Utah. It might be Utah coming out there in the playoffs next year. They win the Pac-12 and beat USC like they did this year. They get in. We see like TCU. They had 7 games they could have really lost, but they won close football games. So it's not the strength of schedule. It's winning what's on your schedule.
There's a similar feel this year to what happened in 2012 when Alabama and Georgia played the most epic SEC championship game. Georgia defender slipped and the clock ran out, and Alabama went on to beat Notre Dame.
That was the national championship.
That was the national championship game. And then, Georgia, was denied in the SEC game and did not get the chance to annihilate Notre Dame. I mean, whoever went out of that game was going to beat Notre Dame. Yeah. We knew that about Notre Dame, but Notre Dame had an undefeated team. They were going to get into that game, and you saw what the outcome was. The televisions were turning off just as quick as they were Monday night. But I think we get a glimpse in these other sports as to what you're talking about. There was a real hesitation to put Ohio State, Michigan playing in a rematch right to start with. But if you look at the other sports like baseball, even the NCAA basketball, they're a little better in basketball with 64 teams. But look at college softball, college baseball. They will set up knockout rounds in the super regionals with same conferences coming through the regional to play each other in the super regional to ensure that you don't have one conference totally dominating the College World Series or the Women's College World Series in softball. Go back and look at the number of times that you'll see an intra-conference super regional.
All the time.
And I think you're going to see the same thing in the 5-12, the 11. They'll set it up to ensure that there's still some parity, because if you've got a Final Four with all SEC, it's not going to turn on the televisions in Los Angeles.
Well, that's the reason they want automatic conference champs, highest conference
Right.
champs, having a bye and not play. And I don't think that's right. I thought their job was, when all this stuff started,
Four
the
deserving
best,
or four
best
best, and there's
teams,
yeah.
the four best teams, not the four deserving.
Right.
The top two teams. Now we're going to go to conference champs. When heck, I'd rather be in the. Why would Oklahoma and Texas lead the Big 12 now if they just want to? Well, I know that big money they're going to make. It's all about the money.
Yeah.
But their easier path would be staying.
But it's
in the Big 12.
preserving that very dynamic as to why the conference champions are set aside to set up those things that Alabama, Georgia, Alabama, LSU intra-conference finals don't draw.
Oh, we got a caller. Good morning.
Good morning. This is Will. How you guys doing?
Hey, Will. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, every year Notre Dame takes the mediocre team out of the Big Ten and the Pac-12, and they play, I guess it's Navy every year. All you got to do is win, because when you get to the end of the season, there's hardly anybody undefeated. And how do you bash the guy that's undefeated? TCU is a prime example of that. Michigan, a prime example of that. I mean, Michigan's a good program, but even if Michigan would have made it to the national championship against Alabama or Georgia, they're a run-based team. They're not going to run on Alabama or Georgia. It would have been the same result, maybe not quite as bad, but it would have been the same result. Exactly. Heck, Michigan played Georgia last year, and you've seen what happened in the playoffs.
Yep.
It would have been very similar.
I'm with you.
The deck is stacked against all those teams. The SEC is a powerhouse. We got nice weather. We got beautiful women. We got these lovely campuses with all of this history behind them. I mean, who doesn't want to come to the SEC?
Yeah.
Let's go play in the Big Ten and shovel snow every morning. That sounds lovely.
Well, you've got apples and oranges. You look at the pro game. We're getting ready to move into the pro playoffs and NFL. I mean, because the league has oversight of the whole, you can do things to ensure parity. Like draft picks right now are being discussed. Where's Bryce Young going to go? Which team needs to pick him up? And these outcomes matter.
Right.
But across these conferences, it's just a different world, and they
every conference is
Some conferences don't care about football.
Right.
Yeah. And that's the reason why they went to a playoff system to start with. They didn't want the SEC dominating it through the BCS like they were. They went to a playoff system thinking they fixed that. They forgot why they came up with a playoff system. Now they're talking about putting 12 teams in there. What do they think is going to happen? They're going to have a six-pack of SEC schools in there every year.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the year when Auburn and Florida and a lot of them programs were down. What are they going to do when they're back on their horse? I mean, all these programs, they shoot their horse when it's lame and they get a new one. They don't play around when their horse comes up lame no more. So, I mean,
Good call. Good call. Hey, listen, I hate to do it. We got to take a break. Thank you so much. Who was this again? Will? Was that Will?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great call, Will. Thank you for calling, buddy. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. That was a highly intelligent
that
call.
was a good call.
That was a highly intelligent caller right there, buddy. He was good. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. We got so many good ones. You want a great meal today? You like seafood? Get out to J. Michael's Restaurant. Coldest beer, ice cold beer, great seafood. J. Michael's Restaurant, legendary on Thomas Drive. South Oak Title and Closing. Chuck Tucker, love you, brother. Nobody's better than Chuck. Everything he does. Chuck, we love you. South Oak Title and Closing for all your real estate needs. Stevenson Air Conditioning. Alabama Update was brought to you by Steve. I forgot to say that. How could that happen?
This isn't it.
Oh, that's right. That was we were talking about Alabama. I thought my bad. Oh, we're getting ready to do Stevenson Air Conditioning. Hey, I'm getting old. I can't go. Good Lord of mine. Anyway, Stevenson Air Conditioning. You'll get a lot of love today. We're going to talk more about you in just a second. Stevenson Air Conditioning, #1, not even close. Buffalo Rock, Johnny Penny. I love that man. And it's Tommy. It continues today. They still give back to Bay District schools and everybody in Bay County.
I miss old Johnny Penny. He's a.
Yeah,
I hadn't seen him in a long time.
He was a wonderful man. He truly was. Is a great man. I hope he's doing well. Any type of injury, please go see a legend, Dr. Chad Mitchell. He'll take care of you like he's done Bay County for 23 years. A living legend. You can listen to him right here on Monday mornings. And speaking of other legends, Ethan Boyd, Rudy's Barbecue. You want a great meal? Do you want a great food, breakfast, lunch, or dinner? Where are you going to go?
Rudy's Barbecue.
You love turkey? Where are you going to go?
Rudy's Barbecue.
You love barbecue? Where are you going to go?
Rudy's Barbecue.
You love Ethan? Where are you going to go?
Don't go to Rudy's. I won't be there.
Get out to Rudy's Barbecue. Have a good time. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
weather in Northwest Florida can change on a dime.
Gale force winds bombarded with heavy rain.
That's why 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has the most up-to-date forecast on the Gulf Coast. Hi, this is staff meteorologist Tim Root. With over 40 years of experience, I know just how fast we can go from sun and fun to a serious situation. For the most accurate and detailed weather when it matters, rely on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Good Thursday morning. A weather system coming in for today and tonight. Cloud showers and maybe a thunderstorm. It'll be sunny at times today, the high around 75, gusty winds. About 48 tonight with those showers and thunderstorms roaming around. Morning showers, afternoon sun Friday, around 58. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. For ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Earthworks of Northwest Florida knows it's a perfect time for you to update your home. Whether it's routine touch-ups or a new look, Earthworks has just what you need. Sand, stone, mulch, and gravel, pickup or delivery. Visit earthworks.com and request a quote. Discover your dream landscape with Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Love the land you live on. Earthworks of Northwest Florida, 2005 Industrial Drive.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DM Mariana, WVLQ Port St. Joe, powered by Pepsi, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hi, I'm Tracy, your diamond girl at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Shopping for the perfect diamond can be difficult, but that's why I've trained my staff to be helpful and to offer you a stress-free diamond experience. Pick your sparkle and use our easy layaway plan. Every woman deserves an exquisite diamond from your diamond girl at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. We don't work on commissions.
We work for smiles and I-dos.
So if you're tired of high-pressure salespeople, stop by and see us today at Tracy's Fine Jewelry.
Put down your natural light. It's time for the Alabama Update. The Alabama Update, weekday mornings at 8. On the Coach James Hale Show in 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hi. Our Alabama updates brought by the legendary Stevenson Air Conditioning. If you have a heating problem, a cooling problem, you got any problem, call Stevenson Air Conditioning. They'll be out quickly and solve all issues. All right, we do have a phone call. All right, let's take this phone call. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Coach. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Who is this?
This is John over in the Dustin area.
Hey, John. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. You know, my observation when I look at programs in the SEC compared to other conferences is if you look at it like Hurricanes, you know, the SEC perennially has 3 Category 5 Hurricane programs during the season, where the other conferences, you know, they may have at best maybe 1, and most of them are like 2 and 3 levels. At TCU, they come into the game. Their big moment was the semifinal game. They might have blown up to a Category 4 storm. By the time they got to the championship and the big lights and everything, they got down to like a tropical storm. Georgia played the best game they could possibly play, and they peaked during that game, and they were Camille-like Category 5, 225 mile-an-hour winds, and just blew their doors off, and that was it. But the other conferences, they just don't naturally. Once you get into competition at the top level of the SEC, they just don't have the depth and all around level to compete like that. I don't think so. That was just my quick analogy. And the other question I have for you, I'm wondering, you know, I talked to some of my friends that went to the game, and they made a good point I hadn't really thought about. Once you get to the playoffs, especially if it's expanded now, you have multiple games. Who can afford the fan base to fly around to all these games? I mean, you're talking $700-800 a ticket, right? And that's probably modest seats plus travel, accommodations. How's that going to work?
Yeah, you're right. And another thing people are not thinking about, even as great as Georgia is, you play all those games, you get people beat up and hurt. you're going to have to be really lucky. It's not going to be really the best team every year win. It's going to be the luckiest team to win it.
Right.
You got to stay healthy. You get your best players hurt. And that's the thing about the SEC. All right, I played at Southern Mississippi. When we were there, we always beat Mississippi State. We always beat Ole Miss. And the reason being, our games before them, we were playing teams like Tulane, Memphis, Louisville, and then we'd go play them, where they had just got through playing Auburn, Alabama, LSU, Georgia, whoever. They were beat up. We were fresh. It was the biggest game on our schedule. And to them, it was their smallest game on the schedule. I think that had a lot to do with it. I really do. And we got up for those games. We played Alabama. We always played Alabama tough. You go back look when we were there. We played Alabama tough. Now, one year we were ranked 20th. They were ranked number 1. We had them. Well, no, they had us 14-7 in the third quarter. I did wind up being 42-7, but we got tired that game. But you're right. I mean, and I will say the Big Ten is pretty strong too, because you got Penn State, Michigan, Ohio State. They got great players on the roster. They got other schools up there that spend a lot of money on football. In different parts of the country, people don't care about football. They're not going to let the administration's not going to let you spend that kind of money on a sport. In the SEC, they're going to spend that kind of money. And there's certain schools in the ACC that are going to spend that kind of money. So the interest is there. But I'm with you 100%. I think you knocked it out of the ballpark.
Thank you.
All right, buddy. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Thank you so much for calling now. Who's your favorite team now? Who's your favorite team?
All right. Well, I grew up in the New Orleans area, so I'm an LSU fan, but I went to TCU, so I'm a Horned Frog. But I'm full for the SEC, you know. I would have liked to see TCU put up a fight and win, but at the end of the day, I'm happy Georgia took over a trophy for the SEC, you know. So I'm okay.
All right, buddy. Thank you so much for calling. We appreciate you listening. Anything we can do for you, let us know, okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much. That was a good call.
Yeah.
Good call. I like the way he did it, too, with the Hurricanes. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, we can relate.
He's right. I think the top of the hurricane got blown off before it got into California there. Let's get into Bama. What you got for us?
Just a few things here. Alabama basketball is continuing to roll. Went into Bud Walton the other night and got a good road win. You know, I think if you want to measure a team, look at road wins in the SEC. You know, any basketball, but I would say going on the road in basketball is tougher than going on the road in any other sport. The fans are on you. It's intense. You've got very few of your own supporters. So great win, 84-69. They're now 14-2, number 4 in the nation. LSU at home on Saturday at Coleman Coliseum. And then an interesting game as they have to go up to Nashville and play on that quirky court at Nashville. That's been a place that's sort of bugaboo for Alabama to go into Nashville and play. So we'll see how they do Tuesday night against the Commodores. Alabama baseball in the preseason, they're number 49. I had to count down that far to myself, you know, see where they were in the also receiving votes category. But I mentioned Alabama baseball. We're a month away, but they did release the non-conference schedule. Now, the SEC schedule's been out for some time. But this kind of tells you, Coach, that we've still got a little work to do in Alabama baseball.
We need to get it done now.
And it's been time. I mean, the investment at the Joe, it's one of the best ballparks that I've been to for a ball game. But we've got to get a product out there that fits the stadium. But the non-conference games, for those that like the baseball, Richmond's coming to Tuscaloosa, Columbia out of the Ivy League, and then University of Illinois Chicago. And then, interesting, this is a long road trip for Alabama baseball. They're going to play a 3-game set at Pepperdine.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they're going out to Malibu to play 3 games out there. I don't know the backstory. I'll try to figure out what that's about. But, you know, Western Athletic Conference program team that historically has played solid baseball, as all of Southern California plays.
That's right.
You know, so those 4 non-conference series. The midweek games, you'll be interested in knowing we got 2 with Southern Miss, Troy, UAB, you know, kind of your typical
Wait a minute. Time out. You said Southern Mississippi, and you didn't give love and respect. They got a good baseball.
They've got a very good baseball team. I mean, it's no, this is a solid midweek schedule here. You know, we've got Troy, the UAB. They come to South Alabama to play a game. So if you're in the area and want to see them, Mobile may be your closest this year. There is a 3-game set in Gainesville. So same thing happening with the ladies. The ladies have some great non-conference games. They're going to be down in Clearwater playing Florida State. Again, that was a great mid-season, midweek matchup at Texas. So spring sports on the horizon, and should be pretty good. The women's softball, we'll see what happens with baseball. Senior Bowl, Alabama's got a pretty good lineup represented with the rosters that were announced, and practices will start at the end of the month. Latu, Ekior, Byron Young, Toto'o, DJ Dale, Helms. So, a lot of talent coming out. And I think if you look at how Alabama stays relevant, it's that pipeline of the NFL. As long as Saban is there, the talent's going to be there regardless of what these NFL collectives do.
Sells those high school kids on, yeah.
That's right. That's exactly right. And we see that with the Senior Bowl and those kids going on. A little bit of sad news. Mentioned Charles White, USC. Ahmad Galloway, who was running back with Alabama in 99 to 02, Dubose era, passed away at 42. He was an English teacher at a middle school in St. Louis. Didn't show for work. They did a welfare check. I think there was some medical emergency, and so he was in the backfield with Santonio Beard. You remember Santonio Beard? And of course, he was killed last year. So, two young guys there from that.
I hate that. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow,
So, but they don't suspect anything with Galloway other than some medical emergency. But 42 years of age, and as far as other items here as we head to the break, just 226 days to the Week 0 games. So,
all right, hey, count it down. You got to start counting down now.
Yeah, I got to get a little calendar for Coach here, and a day is set for April 22nd. So we got that.
I got to ask you a question. Are you going to go? We definitely going to go to the South Florida game.
Oh yeah.
Now you get tickets. Or do we have to go through South Florida again?
I think we'll probably just pick them up off the ground. Way South Florida attends. I think that'll be an Alabama home game in Tampa. I think so too. Yeah.
All right, we get back. We'll talk about the Auburn Tigers. Good job, Jeremy. I do want to ask you one more question about Kirby and Nick. If we get an opportunity today. All right, we'll be right back. We got time to talk about some of our great people. I got to talk about Turf Pro, man. I tell you, my buddy Turf Patrick does such a wonderful job. I say it all the time. Do you want that yard to look like Pat Dye Field, Vince Dooley Field? You look like Bryant Denny Turf. I tell you what, they can get it done. Turf Pro Pest Control can get it done. If you're having problems with your yards, you're having problems with bugs, just doesn't look right, doesn't feel right, call Pest Control. Turf Pro Pest Control. They'll take care of you. 5 minutes could save your yards' life. Patrick does a great job. Turf Pro. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest. He knew what I was doing.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Your home for the NFL. Listen to the biggest games in ultra-high fidelity. Thursday night football. Double and triple headers on Sundays. And Monday night football. The NFL on ESPN Northwest Florida is sponsored locally by Dave & Buster's and Instant Replay Sports Cards.
Good Thursday morning. A weather system coming in for today and tonight. Cloud showers and maybe a thunderstorm. It'll be sunny at times today. The high around 75. Gusty winds. About 48 tonight with those showers and thunderstorms roaming around. Morning showers, afternoon sun Friday around 58. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. For ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida are proud members of the Panama City Beach Chamber. We'd like to welcome the newest members to the Beach Chamber.
Jellies Cafe and Eatery at Spring Hill Suites, the Cryo Spa Incorporated, Sea Sound Apartments, the law offices of Jeff Carter, PA, and Be Different.
Congratulations from the area's only sports radio station, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Highland Park Baptist Church, located at 2611 Highway 231 in Panama City, Worship times are Sundays at 9 and 10:30 a.m. Our 6th through 12th grade students meet for Bible study at 9 and join the corporate worship service at the 10:30 time slot. Wednesday night activities begin with a midweek meal that starts serving food at 4:45. Wednesday night worship service and our students meet at 6 for a time of worship and Bible study. Our Next Gen clubs meet weekly throughout the district, so check for days and times at your student's school.
Tiger fans, join us weekday mornings at 8:15. It's the Bay Point Golf Auburn Update on the Coach James Hale Show at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Eagle. Hey! Speaking of Auburn, how's James Gualmeyer doing? Y'all, I hadn't seen James.
Well, I saw him Sunday.
He's doing well. Yeah, doing well.
Doing good.
Somebody said he's walking like acting real cocky now after all these players Auburn's getting. Any truth to that?
I hadn't seen it yet.
Matter of fact, our service Sunday was really neat. I like that. That was
Was
a
James
great
doing?
service. He was
James?
there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Jenna was there. I saw Jenna the other day. I was walking in Bay Point, saw her. I didn't recognize who it was, so I got past her and said hello. He's got to be happy. Auburn's doing a great job, man. NIL deals, transfer deals. Auburn's going to be fine. You can build a program now quicker than you've ever had. You also can destroy one quicker than you ever had.
That's right.
Hugh Freeze is getting it done. He's the master of this. It's legal. He knows what he's doing. He had it mastered before it was legal at Ole Miss. No, I'm just kidding. He is doing a great job. The staff is doing a great job. Auburn's offensive line was his weakness. It's going to be his strength. I really do believe this. They're bringing in guys there at every position on the offensive line. It's not like bringing a 5-star in there that you can look at and think this guy's going to be a great NFL player one day. He can do it. You don't know. You think it, you believe it, but it doesn't always happen. These guys they're bringing in are college players that played at other universities that you've seen on film, and you know they can do it. Auburn lands East Carolina, and we talked about it yesterday, so I got to do it all over today because we weren't on the air. We thought we were. Avery Jones was going to go to Illinois. He's now at Auburn. He's a center, number 3 in all the transfer offensive linemen. He was ranked the 3rd best. He's going to the Auburn Tigers. Mm-hmm. This kid is a good football player. He was, when he came out, I think it was like the 29th overall player. He's I'm sorry, it's a transfer deal. He's the 29th best player in it, and the 3rd best offensive lineman. He played center at East Carolina. He started, I think, every time he played. He's got only 1 year of eligibility, but he's going to do a good job at Auburn. I truly believe that. He's a former 4-star. He started out at North Carolina. He ends up at East Carolina, and he was nothing but a superstar over there. I had a chance to watch him play one game, and I remember he is good. You go back to watching highlights on him, he can play. And he can play. Bielema is an offensive line coach. He's the head coach of Illinois. He loved him. He was high. They wanted him big time. He thought they had him. He is PO'd. He made some comments. He caught himself, made some comments. College football is changing every day. He mentions about NIL deals. My question to you guys, should he say anything at all? Just keep your mouth shut. Or when they get frustrated, is it okay them to – and the reason I say that, and y'all think about it for a minute because you're going to think I'm crazy. You see a kid, he's on TV, some of them on national TV, and you got the Alabama hat. You got the Ohio State hat, Georgia, Florida State. Or they'll come in there and have a shirt on with one school, take it off and throw it down. Yeah. Now, that to me, that's disrespectful to those schools that spend all that time and energy and money on this young man. Why don't you just come out there with one hat, put it on, and thank the other one?
Travis Hunter is a good example of that.
Thank you.
He took that FSU hat and slung it off over there.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Yep.
So is it okay for a coach to get upset and say something, or should the coach be older, mature, and not say a word about it when he's upset?
Personally, I wouldn't have said anything, but I can see the frustration because he thought he had this player that's going to fit his scheme and whatever he was going to do, and he goes to Auburn. But I think when you do, it's only going bad things are going to happen when you say bad things about people or insinuate that. So I'd say I wouldn't.
Yeah, because he took a shot at all. I mean, so he won. We all knew who he was talking about. What do you think, Ethan?
I mean, it's not going to help him out by saying it. You know what I mean? Like you say something like that, it's just going to hurt down the road. It's going to use it against you later on. But I mean, I also though I do understand his frustration, and especially him. He's been around for a long time, so he's used to college football before all this.
He worked in the SEC,
right?
Yeah.
So it's he's like, so I understand his frustration, but I mean, I think it's one of those things you just got to kind of you go to your office, you close your door, and you get pissed off, and when you get to the microphone, you just got to try to say something positive, I guess.
Jeremy, what do you think? You just nothing.
Take the high road. Yeah.
I need to learn that. All right. Hey, this kid is 6'4", 290, good feet, good hands, a good pass rush blocker. He's also a good run blocker. Auburn is strong right offensive line. That was their way. Look what they've got. They got Western Kentucky's best offensive tackle. That Britton kid can play. He looks good. Good-looking body, good-looking kid. Tulsa's best offensive lineman. They got him, the offensive tackle, Wade. They needed a center. They needed tackles. They went and got him. That's just three.
Well, the best thing about all three of them is they all have lots of game experience.
At what level? College.
Yeah. I mean, that one guy had 31 starts. The Western Kentucky guy, he only had 19 starts, but he was in 45 games. I mean, you're talking, these guys are experienced players.
Yeah.
This is not like they're not going to first time seeing this. I mean, they've played in live games.
And again, it's good and it's bad. From being a high school coach, I don't like it because all they did was taking scholarships away from high school players. In the old way, you get these players in, you develop and you play them. Now you recruit from the portable, and it takes away from the high schools. I hate that. But if you're an Auburn Tiger, you're going to be surprised the team you're going to field next year. Hugh Freeze and this staff he's put together, they're going out there getting players. Now, they got another one. They got South Florida's running back. He's not very big, but the kid is a little jitterbug, but he's a great special team player, returning kickoffs, punts, and things of that nature. Brian, I forgot his name. Batty, I think is his last name. He commits to Auburn. He's only 5'8". Listen to this. Now, he's talking about the SEC. 5'8", 165.
He'll last a couple of games.
But no, he's more of a special team guy, really.
I was about to say more like a.
He was an All-American kickoff.
Kind of like a gadget guy.
Yeah, he was an All-American freshman kickoff return. Yeah. Second team All-AAC as a sophomore, rushed for 1,182 yards. The guy's got quick feet, good lateral move, good burst.
He'll last one game then. The first kickoff in the SEC.
He's got 2 years left to play. Had 5 straight 100 yards rushing guards playing at South Florida in 2022. Auburn had 13. How many did you say Texas A&M had in early enrollees? 10?
10.
Auburn had 13 early enrollees.
That's cool.
I'm telling you guys, with the new world of college football, when Auburn lines up there next year, they're going to have grown men playing, not high school guys, not freshmen. They're going to have grown men that have played college level, like Ethan just got through talking about, and their offense is going to be good. He's going to make sure that offense is good. Another thing, T.J. Finley is back with the football team.
I saw that.
Yeah. 6'7", 2'6", 250, whatever he's down to. Didn't play in the last 4 games, choose not to be a part of that. You know good and well he had a meeting with Hugh Freeze, and Hugh said, come on. We'll give you every opportunity to play. Come on in here. I got a great we can develop quarterbacks. You look at our history, our background, what we've done, where we've been, come on and play. Now, if they get production, which I think they will, I still think my Hoover boys are going to get it done.
Wasn't there another transfer quarterback that was looking? Oh,
they were trying to get Coastal Carolina's quarterback.
No, Spencer Sanders, Oklahoma State. He is in talks with Auburn.
Wow.
And now he hasn't decided anything yet. He's kind of one of the last quarterbacks, but I know he's been talking to Hugh Freeze.
Yeah, Jeremy, you're quiet over there when I'm talking good about Auburn. I think we're going to have a problem with Auburn.
The offense is going to do quite well, and I think you make a great point about how quickly things shift. You know, I was thinking about Florida State. You know, Norvell came in kind of at the beginning of this. He's had to quietly build, but that may be the last sort of program build over a couple, 3 years that we see.
That's true.
Because now you can go and reassemble a team based on what you need. And so, you know, thinking about what Florida State's had to do, Freeze gets to hit the accelerate button on that very same dynamic versus what Norvell had to do as this kind of moved into the culture of college football.
I think they got 4 of the top 11 players out of the transport.
I think they were number 2 to Colorado. Colorado passed them. Yeah. The number 1 as far as recruiting out of that. Deion's got he's got a lot of them coming in.
Yeah. Where's Blake Sims right now? I mean, he sat 4 years on the bench and he got one shot with 12 games, SEC championship game, you know, of appearance. I mean, but that type of player is not going to be around anymore.
I'm sorry. I don't like what's going on. I think you make a commitment, you stay, and you fight through your battles, and you learn from them.
I'm
old school.
I'm amazed at some of these transport portal players. They'll be at a team like South Carolina. FSU got 5 or 6 of them. They come over to FSU and heck, they do really, really well. And why they're not playing it? I know South Carolina's playing in the SEC, but why these like Jared Verse at Albany come in there at a little school and what he's done? Gosh,
yeah,
it's amazing that
I guess maybe it's good for the players.
Heck, yeah,
in some ways, it shifted to the players away from the programs and the teams,
I'm gonna be honest,
and it's made it harder on the coaches.
Let's look at it. Who's got the power now? In the old days, the college head coach had so much power, it's unbelievable.
Right.
The players have the power. They have more power than NFL players.
It's not just at the college level, though. It's at your local high school, the FHSAA.
I blame Tommy for that.
It's with your travel ball team. You don't like what your kid gets with the Diamonds, we'll go play with the Stars. And you're having to re-recruit the entire time. So it shifted big time.
I want to get back to Finley. He wasn't with Auburn the last 4 football games this season. Got a new coaching staff, no problem. Come on, play. I get that. Finley was a 62.3% passer. He passed for 431 yards, 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions. Then Bobby Ashford comes in and could run the heck out of football, but still was not a good passer. I will say this. If they develop Ashford with his legs, his mobility, his experience, if he starts throwing the ball really well, watch out. I'm telling you, man. The kid, I saw him in high school. I thought, man, this guy's unbelievable. Now, he hadn't developed throwing the ball like I thought he would, but if Hugh Freeze gets him going, and look what Hugh Freeze did with some other Auburn who's the other kid that went up to Liberty that Gus couldn't coach, but he goes up there and does unbelievable. I forgot his name now. Malik
Morris.
Who was it?
Malik Morris. Right, Morris, isn't it Morris?
I don't know. It was Malik. Morris?
He's at the Titans now.
But he went to Liberty, and he can't transfer from Auburn.
Yeah.
Auburn couldn't get it done, but Hugh Freeze did.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. All right, we get back. We got a little bit more. All you need to know on college football, we got the answers. Whoever has the last say always has the most answers, I guess, whatever. Auburn Update's been brought to you by Bay Point Golf. You love golf. Where are you going to go?
Bay Point.
Okay, if you want a great meal, where are you going to go?
Rudy's Barbecue.
So you got to do both. You want to have a great day, you go play golf at Bay Point. You go down to Rudy's, have a great meal. Or if you have a golf tournament, just say we're going to have Rudy's.
Just have it at the same time. You play golf and eat.
Can't beat it, man. Get down to Rudy's. I know you love the barbecue. Go have it. It's great. Try the turkey sandwich, I'm telling you. Or the turkey plate. Jeremy, I get the turkey sandwich. Don't you get the plate?
Yeah.
He doesn't like eating that bread.
It's good. It's better to not have the bread, Coach.
I like that.
I'm just
I
saying.
like that bread. I do. I like it. It's good. Good stuff. Good stuff. Also, don't forget about Dr. Ward. 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. If it doesn't look right, feel right. Doesn't look right. That feel right. Go see Dr. Ward. He'll take care of you. Seriously, 5 minutes could save your life. My mother-in-law's got an appointment with him. Brian went to it. The guy's incredible. Most places you go in there, they numb you up. They cut half of it out. They go send you back. They send you back in. They numb you up again. I think every time they put that needle in you, they're making money. I'm serious. That's South Florida. I got jabbed up so much. I was hurting, buddy. But I tell you what, not with Dr. Ward. They get it really the first time. They usually get everything done the first time. He's incredible. Go see Dr. Ward. They do a great job. If you're listening right now, there's an office near you and throughout Northwest Florida. All right, we'll be right back. Tommy Santamont, Jeremy Pridge, Ethan Boyd, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The Afternoon Underdogs.
Hi, this is Todd Mueller from PCB Coins and Cards. Join me on the Afternoon Underdogs Mondays at 4:20. We'll discuss rare coins and currency, hard-to-find trading cards, sports memorabilia, and the amazing stories behind them all. Plus, you can call in with your questions at 850-215-6290. The Afternoon Underdogs, live and local on ESPN Northwest Florida.
If you didn't receive those special gifts Santa promised you this Christmas, you know those boots and shirts with all the accessories? Well, it's never too late to shop that boot store. The rack after rack of famous name brands, including Carhartt work clothes, awaiting your shopping pleasures. You haven't shopped for Western wear until you shop that boot store, offering a lot more than boots. Remember Joe's motto, always keep Jesus in your heart. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 9 to 5, Friday and Saturday, 9 to 5:30, next to Bill Bird Kia on 15th Street.
What does it take to live an uncommon life? Here's former Super Bowl winning coach Tony Dungy with today's uncommon moment.
There were plenty of times in my coaching career when I was down about a loss we had suffered, especially those losses in the playoffs, or a key injury that we had sustained. But I also understood that God was using all that for good by helping me and the team to grow. Consider that you may be planted exactly where God intended for you to be in order to grow your faith in Him. God never wastes what you're going through for Him. He'll use it to grow you more into the person He wants you to be. When troubles hit, dig in deeper and grow right where you are.
Tony Dungy, author of the popular Uncommon book series. More at CoachDungy.com. That's CoachDungy.com.
Broadcasting live from the J. Michaels Studios.
The best part of waking up is
The Coach James Hale Show. Powered by Pepsi. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest. Well, I got a picture of another basketball player getting collapsed. We got all these athletes collapsing. God bless them. I hope. Anyway, I won't get into that. I do want to get into one thing, Jeremy. Do you think with Nick being on the national championship broadcast, that definitely helps Alabama recruiting? Do you think that might have PO'd Kirby somewhat, especially when Nick said on national TV, I don't know if you guys saw it tonight, the targeting play with Ohio State's receiver. He gets knocked out of the game, one of the best receivers in college football, an All-American. The ball would have been placed down on the 1 yard line, and with first and goal, they could have gone up by 3 scores, 3 touchdowns. They had to settle for a field goal, and Nick said, "Yeah, that was targeting." I mean, they got it wrong. It was targeting, and you know everything he said got back to Kirby. You know that. You know how coaches are. They're paranoid. What do you say? They act like they don't care. They know everything they want. They're worse than women when it comes to stuff like that, especially Tommy. But let me ask you this: then he votes Alabama 6th. You think that has something to do with that, or you just?
There's always posturing. I mean, think of the other SEC coaches on Monday night. Where were they? They were at the house. But Nick Saban saw an opportunity to basically hold a 1 hour infomercial, even though he wasn't in the game, being at the game, kept the brand, kept the conversation going, kept it relevant.
Country, 22 million?
Right. So, publicity, always a good thing. Is there a little bit of jostling? Always. I mean, they're both going to be competing for that one spot at the end of the year. So vote them 6th at the end of the year. That shows how much separation we've got between Georgia and Alabama in Kirby's mind. Yeah. Vote them 2 in Tuscaloosa. We're right on your heels, and we're coming back after you. Yeah. The picture of Saban cutting his eyes over to Pollock has gone viral. That has been interpreted in a lot of ways when Pollock said Georgia was the new king, and you could see the side-eye look, quickly. So it's the shift from being, as it's been reported, from being the hunted to now being the hunter. And I don't think motivation is going to be an issue in Tuscaloosa. So all of those things play in. I mean, is it a fraternity where there are great relationships and camaraderie and shared experiences? Yeah, it's just this web of relationships. But the chairs change, the positions change, and so.
The bottom line is, though, Alabama fans, we need to sit back and just congratulate them. They are the power of college football, and they've passed us. They have. And the bottom line is, they destroyed Tennessee. They beat the dog mess out of LSU. We lost to both those teams. Mm-hmm. That's just facts. Yeah. I mean, we can say what we want to say. That's just. It was Georgia's world, and everybody else just.
Is the chasm as wide as some are making out to be? I don't think so. One, Alabama and Georgia did not play this year. No. Last year they split a pair of games, and people seem to forget that. Alabama ran Georgia out of the dome. in the SEC game, and then Georgia wins the game in Indianapolis.
Our two
So,
best players.
yeah. So I'm not as concerned. Alabama Georgia have been a great game this year. Georgia probably would have beaten Alabama. They seem to be just a cut above this year, but in the last two games they've played, SEC game, clearly Alabama's a better team on the field at full strength. Go to Indianapolis. Williams goes down during the game. I was up there, told my daughter, I said, "We're done.
It's over."
It's over.
We already lost Mechie.
Mechie was gone. Yeah.
And he's going through some health
leukemia
right
issues, but getting
bless him.
pretty good progress. So
I don't think anybody could have beat Georgia in that when they played TCU the way they were playing.
Not that night.
What effect do you think Alabama-wise does their offensive and defensive coordinator have on how Alabama played this year?
Too much of a pro mindset, no creativity.
George, you know why Georgia's the best team in college football? They're the most physical team in football.
That's true.
Georgia will knock your head. We're not physical anymore. We're not a dominant. We can't line up and knock the people off the ball like we used to in the offensive line. That's the problem. We got a phone call.
No doubt about it.
Good morning.
Good morning, Coach. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Who is this? Is this Bill Shields?
This is Brian.
Oh,
calling
Brian.
about
Hey,
the
buddy. How you
Bulldogs.
doing?
Doing good. Hey, you're the first Alabama fan I have heard out of all the comments on Facebook, everything else, say, you know what? Georgia beat Tennessee. Georgia beat LSU, and y'all didn't win either one of those games.
Yeah.
Okay. So, both y'all wide receivers against us last year, y'all killed us. There's no doubt. And hey, that's part of the game. Injuries are part of the game. It's just a matter of fact. Yeah, I just wish Alabama fans would give us a little respect and say, hey, maybe we are losing it, and Georgia is better than we are, and we're recruiting better, and we're producing players better. It's all kinds of issues at Alabama. The same issues Kirby had the first 3 years he's at Georgia.
Yep. You're right. I mean, that's
it's
just the
slipping.
fact.
They're slipping. Y'all ain't going nowhere, but you're slipping a little bit. I think that's coaching, and it ain't on Saban. It's Saban's choices and coordinators. He don't run the football anymore. He does not run the football anymore.
Y'all, that's like I talked about. Y'all are the most physical team in football. You saw it against Ohio State. You knocking players out of the game. The same thing at TCU. TCU couldn't even do. How many first downs did TCU have? Maybe 5 or 6.
Did they even get one?
Yeah, I don't remember getting many at all. Georgia's the most physical football team, but it goes back to Kirby. I say Kirby's the best coach in college football right now.
He is just so aggressive.
Their practices, they practice like they did when he was at Alabama. They get after it. He ain't worried about anybody getting hurt. They're going to get after each other. They're going to get better every day. He's the best coach in college football today, and I hate to say it, but that's just the truth.
Mm-hmm. Count Kirby's titles they have with Saban, plus what he's got at Georgia, and the one we lost to y'all, second 26. Kirby's full drive is to beat Saban.
Yeah.
He wants to be the greatest football coach ever, and he's not going pro. These people are the media is so stupid.
Yeah, if he stays there long enough, I said this a long time. Nobody will beat what Nick Saban's done. If he stays at Georgia long enough, I think he can do it. I really do, and I think he's going to be the first coach ever to win 3 in a row. Bear Bryant did it; they didn't give it to him. You know that back in '64, '65, and '66, they didn't give it to him. Political. It was a political deal.
Yeah.
So Alabama was the first team to do it.
It was almost political this year, the way the bias was and the referee calls in the game.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you something. Seriously, though, I kind of think when I looked at the rule book, you look at it, maybe not, but when they hit that kid, I forgot his name, number 22, unbelievable football player.
Javon Bullard.
Oh my God! Well, he is something else. He is
3-star. He's a 3-star.
He was a 3-star. Wow.
Yeah.
But when he hit that kid, I did think it was a penalty.
Well,
take your Georgia hat off. Would you have called it a penalty?
I don't see how you can call a penalty when the man's leading with his shoulder.
Okay.
I don't understand. The game of football has turned so soft. That's why some of the men coming out of football ain't as tough as they was when he used to play. And if you listen to the tape, it's out there on the internet, and it's terrible. There's cursing all in it. But Kirby is a dog. He teaches them boys to be just absolutely nasty.
He's a defensive
and that's the
coach.
way.
Yeah.
That's football. That's football. People forget that's a very, very violent sport. You're out. When I play, you were out to kill somebody. You want to hurt somebody, and you want to send a message.
I think Kirby's grown as a coach. He lets the offensive coordinator do his job, and you got one of the best offensive coordinators in football.
Oh, Monken is.
Yeah,
Monken
that guy's.
is
He should be assistant coach of the year.
You got to remember, he was the head coach of Southern Miss.
That's right.
Hey, what's wrong with you? He went to your university.
Yeah, I forgot all about that. Didn't he? He wasn't that good
tell
back
you,
then.
and-
No, he didn't have them Georgia players back then. That's what it was.
Well, not only that, he has got a pro set mindset, and he's teaching these kids to be pros.
Yeah.
Kirby took everything he's learned from Saban. You can't doubt it. But Alabama fans got to stop talking that crap of saying, oh, Georgia don't deserve it, this, that, and the other. Hey, we won it. Y'all didn't, so shut up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We 2-time back-to-back champions. Don't be jealous.
Now, I will say this. There's only 2 teams that could have played with them, and that was Ohio State and Alabama. Because their quarterbacks and their offenses could have moved the ball. I don't think we could have stopped Georgia, though. I don't think
we can't stop anybody this year.
No, we couldn't. We couldn't put
y'all,
pressure on them.
No,
it's changed. The thing has changed there. Y'all don't have. When Kirby was y'all's defensive coordinator, I'm gonna tell you right now, y'all's team was the same nasty way we are now. Yeah. Kirby's just that guy. Like you said, he runs the defense.
We were that guy. Now listen, we were that way with Jeremy Pruitt too. Jeremy was the same way.
But Jeremy was nasty.
I'm gonna tell you, the biggest loss we've had, in my opinion, is when Kirby took our Scott Cochran over there. I know Scott had those. I know about the issues. I know exactly what happened.
We lost a year.
Yeah, I know all about that. Never said what happened. Never will. But if Scott Cochran had been straight and would have stayed at Bama, we'd still be a big physical football team. I hate it when he got out of the weightlifting program. I don't think we're as strong as we used to be. We don't look as strong, Jeremy, up front.
No, we're being pushed around. We refuse to get out of man coverage. They are not as disciplined. There's not a tenacity that you see that we've grown accustomed to in previous years.
Yeah. If you're not disciplined on the football field, you're not disciplined in the weight room. I mean, it goes hand in hand. So I don't know. But I think Nick Saban will straighten all the problems out. I really do.
Yeah.
Just like you said, Bama's not going away. But I do think nobody's going to beat Georgia next year.
Well, our schedule's a little soft. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're being honest about that because it's like a
tell you
pillar.
this, we're gonna be in the same division next year, and there ain't nobody gonna be talking no crap then because it's gonna be Auburn, Georgia, Alabama, and Florida gonna be in the pod, and then it's gonna be like, all right, we're gonna play y'all every year. Now let's keep talking. Come on, all the talk's over with.
Just wait and see about that pod. I'm not 100% sure that's definitely going to happen yet.
Either way, we're going to be in y'all's division. They're going to swap Texas and Oklahoma to the west, and y'all going to be playing us every year in the east.
Now, I did hear that could happen. Alabama, Auburn going to the east, and Texas, Oklahoma to the west.
We play Auburn every year, so I don't mind. Come on, let's play every year. Then there's no talk about who's better.
I think Georgia's more excited about that than Auburn right now, though.
Oh, let me ask you one. Hey, you're a Georgia guy, but we're all talking about this. I get a different feel about Florida coming back compared to Auburn. I think you see what Auburn's doing, getting all these people coming in there to play. They got a brand new offensive line coming in. Who's going to be better next year, Auburn or Florida?
Auburn. Hugh Freeze is very, very – he's done a great job in the SEC. You know he can coach. Every coach, every program's cheated. So, he had his own.
He's expert.
Hey, he knows what he's doing. And I'm going to tell you, Auburn always had the talent. They just had the coach. Great motivator, great man, but just kind of like Mark Richt. Mark Richt was the greatest man on the planet. But when it come down to being that nasty dog to win those games, because you know how many championships we could have won with Mark Richt and all the players we had?
Yep.
If Kirby would have started when Rick did, we'd probably already have 5, 6, 7, 8 rings. Yep. We have so many players in the NFL, we just don't have. Kirby's he's just throwing them out there.
All the Alabama fans are hating me now, but I got to get off the phone. We got to take a break. Thank you so much for calling. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
All right, we'll be right back. All right, listen. I got time? Okay. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. We got so many of them. Paparazzi Gourmet Deli. You love pizza. Where are you going to go? Paparazzi. 3 restaurants in one. They do an incredible job. Max Fit Sports Nutrition. You'll look better, feel better. Jason Kovaleski and Ethan Boyd, Rudy Tootie's Barbecue on Back Beach Road. What's going on down there at lunch, breakfast, and dinner? Ethan Boyd.
Breakfast tacos, and then you get that turkey and that brisket.
Now, is it true you're really going to let Tommy, Jerry, and all of us come down there and sing during lunchtime?
Just on Thursdays, yeah.
Yeah, we're thinking about doing that. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. They do it at other restaurants. I thought we would do it at Rudy's.
You can walk through.
I guarantee you'd have a huge crowd. They knew we were going to be there singing.
We're just not going to tell them which Thursday.
We'll be right back for our last segment. Hey, good job today, guys. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's here. The 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida app version 2.0. Now featuring ultra high fidelity. You'll feel like you're in the game. Plus, more opportunities to win weekly prizes from local businesses when you click it to win it. Download the 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida app today at Google Play or the Apple Store.
Good Thursday morning. A weather system coming in for today and tonight. Cloud showers and maybe a thunderstorm. It'll be sunny at times today. The high around 75. Gusty winds. About 48 tonight with those showers and thunderstorms roaming around. Morning showers, afternoon sun Friday around 58. This weather forecast has been brought to you by KHS and Associates, your source for affordable health insurance. For ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Sykes Concrete has been in business in this area since 1947, and 3 generations later, they're still going strong. See Sykes Concrete for dirt, sand, rock, and concrete. They can handle any size job from the smallest to the largest. Sykes Concrete pays CDL truck drivers some of the highest wages in Bay County, making $50,000 to $75,000 a year, including holiday and vacation pay, plus health insurance. See Hugh Sykes at Sykes Concrete, 8030 Highway 77 on the right, just north of Southport Elementary School.
Ben and Deb Collins, owners of Bay Guns and Gear, have been in business since 2010, offering new firearms and accessories with a huge selection available for your hunting needs and personal defense. Turn to Bay Guns and Gear. They have the weapon for you. Discount pricing. And if you can't find what you're looking for, they'll special order it for you. Bay Guns and Gear, across from Grease Pro at 3115 Highway 77. Visit their website, baygunsandgear.com.
Welcome to... It's the Coach James Hale Show.
But I believe diversity is an old wooden ship that was used during the Civil War era.
Live from the J. Michael Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Tommy Santamite, Jeremy Pridgeon, and the man, the myth, the legend, Rudy's Barbecue, Ethan Boyd. You want any kind of party, get together, you can go down and have it at Rudy's, Lorelei, and Layton's room in the back. You can have it there, huge, beautiful facility there. Or you can have it catered as your house, your business, whatever. You guys do a great job catering, by the way. I've heard so many good things about that.
Thank you, Coach.
And I also want to thank you for taking care of all these schools here in Bay County. You've done a great job. You guys are part of the community, and we appreciate everything you've done. And, of course, the ESPN 104.3, without us, you would be nothing.
I'm just saying, if there's any business owners that are Georgia fans, I think they should come and get on your program, Coach.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's not a Georgia hour anywhere, and I think that people really want to get Georgia involved. Someone needs to pay some money to you, Coach.
Heck, if you pay us enough, we'll talk about Texas A&M. I mean, unbelievable. Tommy made we got 2 things we got to get over quickly, but I'm going to talk more about this tomorrow. But, Tommy, you said something earlier. May 1st through May 15th opens up the portable again. They can transfer in, transfer out. So you do all this work, and you think you've got your roster set. You think things are great. May 15th, you might have a totally different
Well, now, what about that new rule when it goes into effect? Then it won't.
That will curtail some of this,
That's right.
yeah, with the second transfer limitations that are coming in, which
this I don't like this.
Much needed in light of that. But to your point, you can still get that first transfer after that May 1 through 15 window. So go through spring ball. Oh, I didn't get the number of touches I want.
Jeez,
and somebody's shopping for a tight end. So hey.
Coach said something bad to me. I don't like it. I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Well, my thing is what are you gonna, as a player? What are you judging it on? The spring game, one spring scrimmage. Hey, I only got to touch the ball 2 times in the scrimmage. I'm out. Really?
Well, you know what? Did you see Georgia's offense? We were bragging on him. They ran 3 different running backs, I think, in the first quarter. They're trying to keep all those boys happy.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
FSU was good at that this year.
What do you think is going to be in spring football from now on?
Yeah.
You're going to see all those backups playing a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to see a lot of people getting playing time.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. We'll talk more about this on Thursday. All right, Jeremy, you hit a good point. You got to give Brian a lot of props on this one.
Brian has talked about the relevance of the bowl games, the glorified exhibitions. I mean, we all have a love-hate relationship with it. There's certainly television time that needs to be covered, but we see half-empty stadiums, the opt-outs, and those things. And here, Brian has mentioned, the concept of a week 0 and moving the bowls outside of the playoff to week 0. And you push that a little bit. What would happen if, say, tonight we're going to see a reveal of all of these week 0 games in these bowl cities? You go ahead and take them, but no contractual obligations like what we have. But let the bowls get together and create matchups week 0 ahead of the regular season schedule. Where tonight you might find out Alabama's going to play USC in Dallas week 0, or Auburn goes to Jacksonville and plays West Virginia, where hope springs eternal for every team because everybody's 0-0, and these destinations that have the bowl games get them in warmer weather. Might even be more across the country because it's a little more pleasant in the northern parts of the country at different times of year. And,
all right.
And
I
play
love
with that.
what you're saying. Let's go a little bit further. Let's say we're going to have how many bowls games we got now?
There's
30?
40 bowl games.
43.
I think they should limit it. This for argument's sake, we're going to make you go have only 30 bowl games week 0. 30 games, okay? So what you're going to have to be fighting for, what we're going to do, we're going to take the last poll, the committee poll, AP poll, whatever, combine them and come.
And you get a week 0 game.
If you're in the top 60, you're playing in a bowl game, and they can rank these bowl games however they want, and they can pick who they want, whatever. I like what you're saying, but you got to be ranked in the top 60 to get in.
Mm-hmm.
But then open it up. That way we can have better matchups than what we used to see.
Right. Get away from the contractual obligations.
I like that. I do like that.
The non-conference games are what really is unique about college football, these matchups. I mean, Alabama played at Texas for the first time in 100 years.
And you saw firsthand what that was like. That was electric.
Right. So I think there's some capacity for the venues to be able to attract more people to their towns, which creates more commerce spending, all of those things. And the fan bases would be excited because, hey, we drew A&M or we drew UCLA. And
to your point, you go last year, say it was the Sugar Bowl, week 0. You had LSU and Florida State. There were so many people from Florida State. There were so many people from Bay County there. It was incredible. They made a killing that weekend down there.
And we see what's going to happen in Orlando already
Week
with the return
0.
trip,
Yeah.
week 0.
Yeah.
If you did that across the country, all the major bowl venues, Miami, Atlanta, Memphis, Dallas, New Orleans, Southern California.
Would you call them bowl games? Would you still have
I'd just call them Kickoff Classic, week 0. But
you
use
do whatever
that
you
would
want.
take the place of bowl games. You wouldn't have bowl games.
Then at the end, you'd still have your playoff games.
There'll be a lot of
Then you could go to 16 playoff games and get rid, like you said, get rid of the championship game.
And just your top 12 teams go and you play. And
the 12 best.
I'd like to see you get all those people in one place and try and decide who's going to play who. There'll be some.
It's like March Madness, right? You got to pick the teams. Somebody gets mad, they get out. You can draw from a hat. Well, anyway, something's better than what it is right now. Nobody's going to the games right. Nobody's playing in the games right now.
Right.
I think Brian did a great job. I think you did a great job.
Well, there's possibilities there that would create all kinds of conversation. I mean, Alabama opens with Middle Tennessee State. The Blue Raiders are going to be sacrificed in Tuscaloosa week 1, and we know why. But what would that look like in a different setting for all of the schools, not just Alabama?
And then what we doing right now? Man, it's like we're talking about
it. You talking about all offseason.
Yeah.
Because, how many times are we going to mention LSU, Florida State?
All from now on.
And it's like, think about if you had 30 good games to discuss from now to then.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That were just revealed.
Right.
Not that we didn't know about.
Plus, the weather's better. The weather's better. People can take off time.
You can use stadiums up north.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, I wish they would consider that. And then let's go and then get rid of the conference championship games and let's go to the 16th best teams, 18th best teams. You still have a few bowl games at the end of the year. I like that.
I think it does something for keeping relevance through the course of the year because we saw what happened once you get down to the 4 teams.
Wouldn't you, if you're in those cities, wouldn't you rather do that and knowing you're going to have a huge crowd that weekend and compared? Nobody should come in nobody goes to bowl games like they used to.
No, but you've got 9 months for fan bases to be able to prepare.
Plan it.
And you can't say you don't need you need 10 years. I mean, BYU and Coastal Carolina put together a game in a week and traveled across the country during the height of COVID.
Are you going to be here next Thursday?
I think so.
You have to be. Okay, you have to be. Your contract, I read it. NIL deals, you got to be here. I know.
I'm out next
You got an
Thursday.
NIL deal with somebody else that day. Ethan, I'm probably going to need you next Thursday if you can.
Okay, I'll look at my schedule.
All right. Hey, Ethan, real quick, got about 15 seconds. Where's the best place today or any day to go have a great lunch?
Rudy's Barbecue, man.
Where's that located?
Back Beach Road, right across from Harley.
Big old Rudy sign. You gonna put my picture on that big sign? All right, we're out. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. Here's what's happening.
ESPN Northwest Florida offices are now on the beach. Our doors are always open and we still love visitors. Come see the new ESPN Northwest Florida radio studio and offices at 204 Suite B, Ellen Lane on Panama City Beach. We can't wait to meet you.
The Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good Thursday morning. A weather system coming in for today and tonight. Cloud showers and maybe a thunderstorm. It'll be sunny at times today. The high around 75. Gusty winds. About 48 tonight with those showers and thunderstorms roaming around. Morning showers, afternoon sun Friday around 58. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. For ESPN Northwest Florida,